Hello, it is Eddie G's Music World. We are dealing with January 15th, 2026. On my mind today is what I just don't like about subgenres for music, like categories. Like the record companies, they want to peg an artist and say, well, this person is country, or this person is blues, or that one's metal, and that one's hard rock. But the truth is, music is just a bunch of chords, vocals, and changes of styles. Now, I'm not a musician except for the drums, so I cannot teach people all the ways that music is. There's a lot of differences. I'm just going to put this up now. Okay, and continue on. So I thought I would just go over what I think of these subgenres of music. Sorry about the word subgenres; it's hard to say. So I'll just look at a few and see what I would like to discuss. Okay, there's different categories. Just classical music. Okay, we all know what classical music is. We dealt with that for many years of all kinds of brilliant people, and we know what it is. But I look at the list of classical music, and there's literally 25 different categories of classical music. Now, to me, this is just silliness because what is it? Why do you have to like split the the different nuances up? Why does it have to be, you know, people pigeonholed into this little tiny little category? It doesn't make much sense. But people, if someone says to you, "Do you like classical music?" and you say yes, why does it have to be that they want you to define what little section? Here's a few: Andalasian classical music, Indian, Korean, Persian, Kurdish, Ottoman. Why all these categories? It doesn't mean nothing. Baroque, Gallant, classical period. It's just classical music. And even the term classical music, I don't appreciate. Because what is Electric Light Orchestra? Classical music slash rock? Pop? It's just silly little categories. It means nothing. There's absolutely no. It just helps record company try to individualize people's taste in music. Like I'm sure, like in the '80s, like when let's say the group The Cars showed up and they started recording. I'm sure some record executive was going, is this a punk band? Let's call them that. Let's try to promote them as a punk band. Oh no, maybe they're just a rock band. Are they hard rock? Are they medium rock? Are they alternative rock? It's just crazy. I don't like all those things, and some people must live by that that type of description. Next, popular avant-garde and experimental music. How many of these categories are there? Here, I see about roughly 13 or 4. Now, we feel the society and the music industry feels a need to split all these things up. Crossover music, danger music, drone music, electroacoustic music, industrial music, instrumental, lo-fi, musical improvisation. This is all just experimental and avant-garde. Then you get into blues. Blues, when you think of blues, you think of a black blues guy with a guitar like a BB King or one of the other famous ones from way back in the day. Um, and what do we have here? Just with blues, I'm going to give a guess that it's over 20 types of blues. So a man picks up a guitar, he strums it, and the man, and then from there he falls into this little tiny category, little pigeonhole that he didn't even think was apt. He didn't think it was accurate or cared. But all of a sudden, he slips into that category. There's just so many. I don't even know if I'm going to give it a long list. Detroit blues, desert blues, or desert blues, country blues. It's just crazy. And and what's but I do appreciate one thing. You can One thing that's for all this splitting up is that Sirius Radio, which I listen to, they split all these, not all the ones that are on the list I'm reading, but they take certain types of music and split them into different channels. So if you, it's good for that. Like if you feel, oh, I want to hear blues today, I want to hear country today, I want to hear heavy rock, I want to hear medium rock, they can split it up so you can hear it, but then you get bored of that and you want to switch around. But anyway, that's just a something that's positive about it, because I'm not scripting any of this. Not a lot of people will see this, and it's fine. Country music here, I can't even count. Americana, cow punk, gothic country, Lubbock sound. Lubbock sound, that's like where, what was it? Buddy Holly was from there. Talking blues, truck driving country. I mean, it's insane. Zydeco. So then we make our way down and see what else they're offering. Again, no specific, no just tossing everything and put it on the radio. I work barely in radio, not a high level, but I did work. I was on radio shows, and I helped out on a rock station. So I kind of saw a bit of it, where they would look at a cover of an album and say, well, this is not good. We want disco, and this is dance and not disco. And they would put it aside because it projected an image of a type of music. And so if the radio station only was doing one type, they wouldn't play it. Narrow-mindedness, that's pretty much what it is. They do that with people too. Black people, oh, they're this. Chinese people, they're that. Arabs are this. Jews are that. Greeks are this. Italians are that. French. Whatever. People make assumptions based on the category that you find yourself put in. So let's see what else I can add. Easy listening. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. There's like 13 of those. Chill out, barocco, lounge music, light music. Again, there should be a station. Well, the radio business is not exactly doing great lately, but there should be a station where they just play every single style to give people a great mix, not the pop mix that says, oh, easy listening, pop, strumming of guitars and humming. That's all we can do. Not that type of thing. Just play everything. Electronic music, ambient, dub. I've never even heard of it. Hypnagogic, pop, synthwave, dark synth, bass music, hip hop, fusion genres, Afro swing, cloud rap, crunkcore. I'm not gonna spend the whole day on this, but it has to be mentioned. Nobody else talks about this. Acid breaks for breakbeat. I've never even heard of that genre. Breakbeat, broken beat, Florida breaks, Miami bass, chill out, another 10 of those. Disco, literally, that music is split up into, there's like 20 main categories. There's house music, drum and bass featured, dub poetry, House, electronic rock, electronic pop, dance pop, electronica, folktronica, electro-industrial, ethnic electronica. I mean, I can't keep up. I only expected to do a little video about this, but just to list the subgenres of all this type of music is going to take forever. Techno, acid techno, Detroit techno. What happened to just music? Experimental electronic, black MIDI, acid trance. You need a whole library in a school to fit all these, find different categories. Folk, fusion genres, hard dance, hardcore, bouncy techno. I can't. Folk. There's a good 20 of those. Hip hop. I won't even read them all. It's just endless. Jazz, pop, just pop, which we all know is just a basic word that encompasses pretty much things that are hits and kind of trying to be hits. There are so many subcategories of pop. I'm going to guess 50 or 60. That's all finding its way in the subgenre of pop. teen pop, synth pop. Okay, I'll just keep going. R&B, soul. Now this brings me to the one thing I didn't like in the 80s and 90s and 70s. Billboard would have black music charts. Black music. So what if you're a white guy who plays R&B and soul? Does that mean you get on the black music charts? Blue-eyed soul, brown-eyed soul. What is this? An eye exam before you can be falling into that category? Rock. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Grunge, indie rock. There's lists of rock, like comedy rock, classic rock. There's probably over 200 lists. Metal, another good 35. Then there's punk, another 30 or 40 types of punk. African music, Antarctica, Asian, Central Asian, East Asian. Christ, it's just music. It's a man or woman playing an instrument, singing. That's what it is. Can't we just like the music and just say it's music instead of throwing it into a category, throwing it into a little cubby hole of sound? It's just stupid. But I'm not the man behind the decisions of the music industry, the radio industry, the record companies. They figure that that's the way they want to conduct themselves, and that's what they did. So it's just the way it is. It's not a tragedy, but it is a bit sad. Eddie G's Music World, January 15th, 2026. My discussion, my thoughts on music subgenres. Thank you.